Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed, and we're brought to you, of course, by Aria Health, your neighbors here in Bucks County, ready, of course, to serve you when you need their service. Well, we're getting set for what is the toughest 4 games of the season for the Pennsbury Falcons. No doubt about it, they're 4 in a row, have to be ready for each and every ball game. It'll start here on a Saturday night against Penn Ridge with the homecoming ball game. Then it continues on, of course, with Central Bucks South and Josh Adams and that great ball club there. Another one that's, of course, at this point undefeated. Then you've got also North Penn, the old nemesis. We have to go up there for that ball game. And then the arch rival game, which is Neshaminy. And Neshaminy, of all of them right now, might be having the toughest season. But only look back to last year when Neshaminy was flying along and Pennsbury was not having that great a season as they were and just did a number on them. So with that game, the arch rivals, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the year. But the big one up now is going to be Penn Ridge. That you got to take first. You can't look ahead with any of these teams, that's for sure. And the Penn Ridge Rams are a tough ball club again this year. They've got a couple of good ball players, there's no doubt about that. They can be tough on anybody any given weekend, and certainly they're going to be ready for this one, as certainly I'm sure Galen Snyder's ball club is going to be too. Galen, you got to be happy how the season has gone so far, undefeated 6-0, but as I mentioned, this is a tough stretch.
Yeah, this is the the part of the season we knew was going to be tough going into it, and you got all teams that are traditional playoff level teams that we face here coming up. They're all good football teams. We've seen them on film. Obviously, watched Penn Ridge a lot this week on film, and they have a number of weapons. As far as offense goes, and they've been playing pretty good football. I think they're 5-1, with the lone loss being in North Penn. So they're a tough team. Well,
you look at them and you see exactly what you've done, but let's take a look first at the Penn Ridge team. I got some stats on some of the guys. Of course, their quarterback there is going to be Balmer, and Balmer has been able to pass 31 for 54 for 351 yards and has 7 TD passes and 2 interceptions so far. He's rushed for a total of 4 touchdowns so far for him as well. So he's one of the guys you got to watch out for.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. They don't throw a lot with him, but they throw some, and he's obviously effective throwing, and run a little bit as well, but he's there to kind of manage the game, and he is athletic, and he does a pretty good job overall.
And I think that without a doubt, the guy you have to look out for is Joe Unangst. Unangst has all the stats here. He has 124 rushes for 1,143 yards, 9.2 average, and has 11 touchdowns there. And also, of course, has himself as well doing a nice job with getting 5 TDs against Abington. Get ready for this ball game. He has 1 TD receiving and a punt return for a touchdown as well. And without a doubt, I'm pretty sure that your ball club knows about number 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good vision, good speed. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he runs hard, and he seems to really have a knack for breaking off long runs, especially making a guy or two miss and then taking it to the house. So he's a good ball player.
And when you look at it, they do have a couple of good ends that that certainly help them out. And Jordan Garris, of course, is the one guy, and Ian Moser is another one there. It's at an end position, and they keep it honest by throwing.
Yeah, Moser's a real good player. He's a tight end, defensive end starter, number 87, and he's a two-way guy. Really good ball player. I'm impressed with what I see out of him. So, and of course, it starts off with blocking for him. So, we'll see.
Well, you were telling me about before we got on the air about the offense they use. Tell the fans what they're expected to come out in.
Well, I mean, they're traditionally a wing T team like us. They've actually went to a pistol wing T, where the quarterback is takes a direct snap, but a little bit far back, not quite a shotgun, just a few yards back off the ball, and the fullback aligns behind him. They'll run a pistol wing T, a little double wing action, but they'll also go into what would be like a pistol eye type of look too, where they'll put one of the backs, Ugan's 20, put him deep, a little bit deeper, and they'll run some more eye type of plays out of that. But they're a run-oriented offense and play action pass, and so they're familiar to us in that respect, similar to us in that way.
And of course, when you look at them, how do you feel? You look at them size-wise with the lines you got. How do you feel your defensive line stacks up against their offensive line?
Well, I mean, we're not as big as them. You know, obviously our O-line is probably bigger than anybody will face, but our defensive line is usually a little bit smaller than most of the teams that we face, and that's the case here. But I feel like our guys, will make up for it with their quickness, speed, and overall aggressiveness.
When you look at the team and the way you've played so far, when you're taking on a ball club, you're going to have another team to take on with Adams, of course, when you get to Central Bucks South, that has a real good running back. What is it that you tell your ball club when you've got somebody who's doing so much, one guy, just like you have? You have Snorway, and other teams got to look at you there. What do you do when you hit these teams that have this good running back?
Well, Penridge is a little bit more like us in the sense that they have, the runner who's getting all the yards, but they also have the way that they're set up in the wing T. They can give the ball to all the backs, and they have other guys who can hurt you other than number 20. That way they're like us. Charles
right.
is a main guy, but we have other ball carriers, obviously, who've done a tremendous job for us. And, Raheem Thompson and Victor Delgado, who have big games just as well, so you can't just focus on one guy, and neither can you with Penridge. The CB South will deal with that situation coming up in a couple weeks, but from what I've seen, I mean, it's, he's carrying the ball, Adams carrying the ball over 30 times a game, so you can, kind of zone in on him perhaps a little bit more.
All right, we'll take a look more at this ball game coming up. Penridge taking on, of course, the Pennsbury Falcons at Fairless Hills for homecoming night for the Falcons. We'll be back with more right after this.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go for the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs. Go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
Hi, this is Congressman Mike Fitzpatrick, and I hope you're enjoying tonight's game. As we gear up for another campaign here in the 8th Congressional District, there are some things that always remain the same, and that's remembering where you came from. I'm proud to say that I was born and raised here in Lower Bucks and attended local schools. That's why I will never forget our community's needs, and will continue to fight for programs like help for flood victims along the Neshaminy Creek, preserving historic land and open space, and bringing the National Veterans Cemetery to Bucks County. As your congressman for the 8th Congressional District, I can promise you one thing, that I will never forget my roots. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy tonight's game. Paid for by Fitzpatrick for Congress.
Landolfi's Deli in Yardley at 90 West Afton Avenue in the Yardleyville Square. This beautiful new eat-in deli and restaurant is open 7 days from 8 a.m., serving breakfast, eggs, omelet, breakfast sandwiches, even breakfast burritos. And of course, Landolfi's famous hoagies, specialty sandwiches, panini sandwiches, and fresh deli wraps. Landolfi's Deli at 90 West Afton Avenue open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call 215-321-4590.
And we're back once again here on the Galen Snyder Show, of course brought to you by ARIA Health, your friends and neighbors here in Bucks County. When you need them, they are there for you. Well, Galen, we talked about the offense a little bit. Let's talk about what you've seen from the defense for this ball club. I know they have a few guys that fly around the ball like you have on your ball club. What do you think of their defense, and exactly what do you look at as maybe areas that maybe you can penetrate with your offense?
Well, I think the Moser kid, 87, is a real good defensive end. On the other side is Simmons. He's a very athletic kid as well. Kid in the middle, number 6, Kranak, runs around a lot. He's a good ball player. So I mean, they play. They're gritty. They play hard on the defensive side. They mix it up. They run some odd fronts, some 50, along with some 40. So we'll have to be on our best. We'll have to be on our game. We'll have to recognize whatever they're in and adjust appropriately once we call the play, with regard to our line blocking and such. So it'll be a challenge for us on both sides of the ball, no doubt.
Well, there's one thing I mentioned to you before we went on the air, because I thought it was interesting when I was looking at the stats that I got yesterday to look over. And you take a look at Ezra Outlaw. He has himself 20 tackles. They had 16, he said, solo. You take a look, too, at Amir Simmons, 21 tackles, 14 solos, and 5 for loss. So he's been doing a nice job there. You have Zach Hockman, 32 tackles, 27 for solos, with 4 that have been those that were for a loss. But the thing that got me, and I think you had something to say about that when I talked to you about it, I said I was so shocked about the fact that how come you have that many solos for a guy when you have 32 tackles, 27 solo, 20 tackles, 16 solo? I think you had a good answer.
Well, a lot of it comes down to how you count the tackles.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too.
But I know in the case of our defense, you wouldn't see that many solos because we do a lot of gang tackling. We get a lot of people to the ball, so every tackle, a number of tackles are 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
What the case is with Penridge, I couldn't say. Do they?
Did you get the initial hit? Does that count?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they're listing the solos.
Yeah.
Typically, that would be, to me, it's just you tackling them, which would, I don't know what that indicates, but like I said, the reason we don't have as many is what I'm saying.
And one of the things I was thinking about was the fact that if you have that many solo tackles, it looks to me like a runner who has some moves, and your guys have some moves, can get by one of those guys going one-on-one a lot of times.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think the teams, they are great. I watched them play in the Chamonix, and Pollard did some damage against them, but they hung in there. They hung tough, and they found a way to win the game. I watched them against Abington, same type of thing. Abington's back got loose on them a few times, but in the end, they stepped up when they had to. I think it was a 28-22 game in the fourth quarter, and Abington had the ball twice in the fourth quarter, and both times Penridge was able to step up and stop them. So they're definitely a gritty defense, and it's going to be they're going to come after us pretty hard.
Overall, when you look at the Penridge team, and you've seen them a couple of times now, what's your thoughts about them, and where do you feel you felt that during the course of watching a ball game, offense and defense, where's their strength, do you think?
I think they're a complete team on all facets. I think they're strong D, but offensively, I think that they're able to. I like the number 20. I like some of the ability that they have to be able to make big plays.
Yeah.
He seems to be able to make big plays for them, and some of their other guys as well.
Right.
And I just see them as a team that's really playing hard and capitalizing on their opportunities.
Well, we know, both of you right now with 4 games remaining, you're pretty high up there, having only, they have only the 1 loss and you have none so far as making the playoffs. The first thing, of course, is going to be who's going to win the Suburban One League National Conference. That's been a question mark since day one. As a matter of fact, it's been a question mark since they decided to do the realignment, because they knew all the teams that were in here. You've got the likes of at least 4 ball clubs. They're going to battle it out to the end. And of course, you and along with Penridge are going to be 2 of those. So right now, this becomes an extremely important ball game for you because of what you have on the horizon for the next few weeks.
Sure, they're all big games. The next few weeks, this one, like I said, Penridge is a very good team. The 1 loss they had to North Penn. If they don't turn the ball over, make some mistakes there. North Penn made some big plays. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown. They completed a big pass, a 1-man route for a touchdown. Penridge fumbled the ball in their own end, which North Penn converted for a touchdown.
Right.
And then at the end of the game, North Penn forced the turnover and returned it for a touchdown. So it was a lot of, that game was a lot of, as far as I know you can't take out those plays, obviously, but if you look at the actual back and forth,
Yeah.
when they had the ball, when North Penn had the ball,
Right.
It was pretty even. So they're a good team.
Oh, they are a good team. We're going to find that out in just a few minutes from now. We're going to be back to take a look again at the Pennsbury Falcons right after this.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and since 1986, McCaffrey's Supermarket has been a real supermarket experience and a very proud member of our community. Through good times and bad times, Jim McCaffrey and his family have been there to assist our neighbors when they needed help, whether it's helping flood victims, raising funds for the American Cancer Society, or supporting the local Little League teams. You can count on McCaffrey's to be there. McCaffrey Supermarkets, 635 Heacock Road in Yardley in the village of Newtown, at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Princeton and West Windsor.
The Pennsbury Football Parents Club reminds you to come out and support the Falcons. They'll be selling Pennsbury football merchandise at every home game. And if you can't make it out to the game, remember you can listen to it live on 1490 AM WBCB or watch the Falcons video stream live every game at WBCB1490.com.
Achieving what you want demands the right game plan. When you team up with PNC, you get the tools and know-how you need to get where you want to go. Whether it's buying a new home, sending your kids off to college, or retiring the way you want, PNC is here ready to help you achieve your financial goals. To discover all the ways PNC can help, stop by any branch or visit PNC.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. Princeton University football, affordable family fun for everyone at one of the nation's finest on-campus football stadiums. Get your 2014 tickets now as the Tigers defend their Ivy League championship. The Tigers set Ivy League records in both scoring offense and total defense in 2013. And 9 All-Ivy selections returned this season, including Quinn Epperly, the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, and named to this year's Walter Payton Award watch list, along with All-Ivy defensive standout Anthony Gaffney. Tickets are on sale now for all 5 home games starting Saturday, September 27th, under the lights against Davidson. Ivy League foes Brown, Dartmouth, Penn, and Harvard visit Tiger Stadium in 2014. All single-game tickets, just $10, and season tickets for all 5 home games, only $30. Group and youth tickets also available. For more ticket information, visit GoPrincetonTigers.com. That's GoPrincetonTigers.com. Princeton University football. Affordable family fun for everyone.
And we return with the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed, and of course brought to you by ARIA Health, your neighbors and friends here in Bucks County to help you when you're in need. Let's talk about your ball club a little bit. We've talked about the Penn Ridge team and the Rams coming in here for this homecoming. What about your team so far? Is that concerned? Right now you've hit the stage where now you're in the downside. You've played 6 games so far this year. Your thoughts about the way the progression has been for this ball club?
Well, I mean, we feel like we're continuing to improve. We've had a couple. I would say like our first game of the year, we started really well, and then we didn't play so well in the second half. I think we played very well the next few weeks. Got a slow start against Abington. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And then we had to pick it up. So that's where we, and then last week I thought like we played a very good game against Penn Salem. I would say, we're waiting to see. We're going against Penn Ridge here, and we want to see, what we're going to look like taking away the Abington first half. Do we come out against a team that's a good team,
right,
and really get after them in the first half is what our goal is going to be. Not to come out a little flat like we did against that.
And wait for the second half.
Yeah, and get because you get yourself in trouble when you do those types of things. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to start out strong against a good team here in the first half.
I know one of the things that I noticed here, and I think you've seen improvement with during the course of the season so far, your special teams have come up very well for you so far this season. I thought covering kicks, you had a couple of guys that really are down there quick, making tackles, not giving guys a chance to breathe or move upfield too much. So that has looked good for you so far, and you're getting really special teams helping you out.
Yeah, I think so. Our punt game's been good. Our kickoff coverage has been good. We'd like to get a little bit better with our returns. We feel like we can do some more damage to the other team with our kick and punt returns than we have. Extra point field goal, we missed 1. We scored a lot of points, and we've only missed 1. So we converted a 2-pointer one time. So yeah, I think overall the special teams have been real positive. But like everything else, they can get better.
Well, you look at it here, and certainly, as I mentioned, it's going to be homecoming for you. What do you think of that? You know, is that going to get the kids up a little extra here? They're before a pretty big crowd here, with not only the ball game's going to be good, but this is your homecoming game.
I would think so. It usually does. Gets the kids fired up. Homecoming. It's a big event here at school, and you know, there's always a great turnout, and especially when you're going against a good team like Penridge. And I'm sure they have a good fan base. They'll be bringing some people down, especially now. You know, they have a good team this year, and so I think it'll be something the kids will be excited about. Conversely, I think Penridge is fired up. I mean, you know, they see the opportunity that's before them, so it should be a heck of a game.
And you know, they got their old coach back again, the guy who really had them when they were at the height of what they did. Of course, had his son playing, and maybe went on to watch his son in college as well, and took a little time off. But Hollenbach's a good coach.
He is. Does a great job up there. You know, he was the coach in the late '90s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
and you know, they were in the American Conference for a lot of those years, and they won that a number of times and made the playoffs. And then they played CB West, who was in the National, and you know, those were good ball games. CB West would win, but you know, Penridge always played them tough. And then they came over to the National for a few years there, and before returning to the new Continental League.
Right.
But no, he always did a great job with them. They always had big physical teams. They were a wing T team. They had some real good clubs, some playoff teams. So, and you know, they're getting back to that. You know, I will say, like the end of you know, a couple of years ago, before he came on board,
Yeah.
Coach Cuthbert's last year, you know, we faced him in the playoffs, and we ended up losing 28-27. And that was a heck of a team. They were a real good football team that we faced that night. And unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But Coach Hollenbach came back last year. They had graduated a lot of guys, but he still put forth a real good team. And of course, here they are good again.
Yeah, they certainly are. Should be a great ball game. I know you're going to want to watch this, and of course you can watch it. When it comes down to that, it's on the internet as well, where you can watch it and also listen to the ball game coming up just moments from now, of course, as it's a Saturday night, because it's homecoming for the Falcons of Pennsbury here in Fairless Hills as we get set for that ball game. And the Galen Snyder Show. I want to thank Coach Galen Snyder again this week. And don't forget, we're brought to you by Aria Health, your neighbors and friends here in Bucks County, who are there for you when you really need them. I'm Vince Reed. Let's get ready to kick it off here on homecoming night at Falcon Field in Fairless Hills, where Pennsbury plays host to Penridge.
Hi, Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering and can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Ristorante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Ristorante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29 in nearby Ewing Township.
Oh, the corner kick's right to Chris. He's got a shot. Oh, no.
It happens fast, so we'll treat you fast. Introducing Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, where you're seen without an appointment by a Rothman orthopedic specialist. Fast, any day of the week.
Okay. Easy with his leg.
Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, now in Marlton, New Jersey, with more locations to come. It happens fast, we'll treat you fast. Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care. See RothmanInstitute.com.
Experience the Volkswagen love by visiting Volkswagen of Langhorne, located at 1862 East Lincoln Highway, minutes away from Interstate 95. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, Volkswagen of Langhorne is located in the heart of Bucks County. As the leader in customer satisfaction in both sales and service departments, they provide the finest automotive experience to you, our neighbors. Visit Volkswagen of Langhorne today to see and drive the latest selection of new and certified pre-owned Volkswagens. Be sure to also take a test drive in some of the newest models available, such as the all-new GTI. Start experiencing Volkswagen of Langhorne today online at vwoflanghorne.com. That's vwoflanghorne.com.